Hey guys, today we're going to talk about mind is a prison. In order for you to actually understand that mind is a prison, which most people wouldn't believe because everything runs through the mind, right? If the mind is dead, there's nothing to do. Um, so everybody gives importance to mind, and everybody cannot understand why mind is a prison. In order for you to understand why mind is a prison, you need to go into depths of meditation process, which means that you need to sit every day, right? Um, just by yourself and just be here and now. And you won't get it. you won't get it until you do series of practices, which means that it might take an year, it might take 2 years for you to really understand why mind is a prison, right? So when I discuss this with my friends or someone, they would always say like, you need goal. What would you do, like enlightenment? What do you do with enlightenment? Okay. There's nothing to do with enlightenment. You have to work. You need to have a goal. You need to progress. They would say all these things, right? Because they have never practiced sitting and just meditating. And even though you sit and meditate for a month, you won't understand this concept. You would only understand this concept when you go into a state where your mind is projecting, which is not the reality. Okay, the reality is always here and now, which means that you're here, but your mind is projecting the future or past. And once you sit and meditate and then like contemplate and understand the mind, how tricky the mind is, then at a certain point, you'll be able to catch the glimpse of projections of mind. Either it can be the past or future. And once you start to catch it, then you understand how the mind is playing you. But it's gonna take you time. And even though you understand this process, the mind is really tricky. It's gonna take you back to who you were. It's something like a bird in a cage. Now, if you think of the cage as a prison, and the bird thinks that cage it's its world, or maybe to go from one spot in the cage to the other spot in the cage and then just roam around in that cage. Okay, and that's what it thinks the world is. That's what it thinks life is all about. Okay, until and unless it comes out of the cage and flies. Okay, now that's gonna happen once you start to be in the now. Once you start to be in the now, getting out of this goal-oriented mind. I'm not saying to leave all your goal and just go and sit and meditate. Okay, you need to have that process of that goal and everything which is going on. And once you understand that this is not giving you happiness, the goal or the money, or then try this, because there's nothing to lose, right? Try every day for half an hour. Sit and just don't do anything. Just try to be there. Okay, and then you'll understand your mind's projection, and then you'll understand everything that's going on and how tricky the mind is. Until you do that, you won't understand. I mean, like, even now, right, the mind can trick me, but I've been doing this for years. It cannot trick me. That's And I was sitting here and the mind is trying to trick me out of this beautiful place. It's making me think about work or something, but I can catch my mind's projection because I've been meditating. I've been watching my mind through meditation. And as I was going back to that analogy of once the bird gets out of the cage and it starts to fly, it cannot fly. It is going to get back to the cage again because it won't know what's out there, right? It's same thing with getting out of the mind, beyond mind. Once you start to be here, the only way you can be here is only when you can pass your mind, which means that you're just here in a conscious state where you're not going into subconscious state. When you go into subconscious state and try to recollect what has happened, and then you're going into subconscious state, or you're creating something which is not there now. It's all through mind. It's nothing here. See, right now, if I'm creating anything out of this space, whatever is happening here is through mind. And now when I come here into this reality, then the mind disappears. Now, in order for you to understand what I'm saying, you need to meditate and you need to be blissed out in the moment. Then only you can understand what I'm saying. Just to be here and now, okay? And once going back to the analogy of the bird coming out of the cage, and once it learns to fly, okay, as I'm saying, I could see some birds out there, but as you learn to fly, you will understand there's this other world existing in the true form of spirit or universal spirit or energy, anything that you want to say. And then you can go into deeper visions or deeper state of your consciousness. You can say super consciousness, super consciousness, it just goes on. And there's something beyond the mundane, systematic, mechanical goals that have been set by the society. There's something beyond it. Okay, the only way that you can experience that infinite universal energy is only when you understand how the mechanical, goal-oriented society life, but you need to work hard to come back to this life. You need to work hard in that mechanical life. You need to have some money. You need to know how much money you need to have. So I'm not saying, not having goals is important, but the thing is you need to understand when to stop it and when to turn and then come back to this state of just doing nothing and just be blissed out. Just be happy. This is not for everyone, okay? And some people, they are too much into the goal-oriented life. They cannot come back. If you are a CEO of a company, he needs to be too intelligent to drop everything for half an hour and come back to a state of doing nothing. Because his mind is always thinking. That's what I want to say. So you need to really put some time to understand why mind is prison. Okay. Hopefully this video helps you. Thank you and have a blessed day.